Good morning. Welcome to the review preview video. Let's take a look at last night's matches. Left on your own. How'd you get on if you traded at all? So these were the major matches yesterday. A surprise on paper, a Mallorca win, not renowned for consistent 2-goal hauls. The Mallorcans priced not to win. The only real angle in here, I think, possibility lay the draw second half dependent on Betis' stats, expecting them to score, or lay any very late draw. Particularly if they've been avoiding draws of late. As you can see there, no D there for Real Betis. Both teams to score last match. So a surprise of sorts. 2 consecutive wins for Mallorca against pretty decent sides now. They're going to be extremely positive. Real Sociedad, not too shabby. Real Betis, not too shabby as well. Both sides can threaten the European places. So these are 2 major scalps for Mallorca. No real trading angle apart from laying the very, very late draw. Copenhagen against AaB Aalborg, as expected, really. One of your old reliables. Possibility to have laid the draw second half. First half stats, only the 2 shots on target, but 8 off, hinting at some potential. Second half, vastly improved, as you can see there. 5 shots on, 10 off. That's just in the second half. In total, 7 shots on, 18 off. No wonder it's 2-0. So I hope you laid the draw second half there. Nice and simple. Copenhagen score first. Draw odds will rise. Hillerød and Fredericia, I think this was shortlisted by me largely in the expectation of goals, rather than laying the odds on favourite who's 2 or 3 goals down. Fredericia are pretty handy. I wouldn't have necessarily taken on Fredericia. They had a very solid performance against OB Odense, who were one of the big boys. And that stuck in the mind. AaB Aalborg, that loss, they only lost recently in the Cup. Odense, it wasn't a tight match, I thought it was. But I wouldn't have laid Fredericia. I don't think I'd have taken on this lead. I would have been looking for over 2.5 goals, I think. Fleetwood and Morecambe, no strong opinion here, I'm afraid, just based on the early season. But we've got a 1.55 home favourite, 2-0 up at half-time. I would have switched off by then. Morecambe will be absolutely delighted. Fleetwood will be kicking themselves. Unexpected, but it goes for the territory. League 2. You see, the lower down the leagues we go, the more we tend to hit the losing patches if we trust these teams. In Premier League 2, you know the drill. Got 2 over 2.5 goal matches. But this would have been a disappointment. Let's have a look at the goal timings, because we want to try and eke out some time, but we can't. Penalty to start with. Depending on whether Leicester are favourite, that could have sealed the possibility of overs in this match, the underdog scoring first. And indeed, it was over by half-time. So you either get involved pre-match or you try and delay, get 10 or 15 minutes out of the match. Problem with this, likely over 2.5 goals is going to be factored in here. Similar story, Wolves and Leeds. Again, 2 goals by half-time. Brilliant. Got 10 minutes out of this one. And this was the damp squib. Stoke and Arsenal, no goals in the first half. So I wonder if you're doing a first half goals play for over 2.5 goals, maybe cash out at half time and take the hit, because this is 96-minute winner. Not quite in keeping, or was it? Well, the 5-0 loss there, 4-0, 1-1. Overs, 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 overs. So, 2 2s last time. So you might have been tempted in, and you'd have had to manage your position here. So that's something to think about with an over 2.5 goal play. In this particular instance, you could have delayed to back over 2.5 goals, pretty decent odds. But it's up to you. When do I cash out? Do I cash out in a predetermined time? Half time, for example, 60th minute. Do I hold on because of the reputation for overs for the second half? And in that case, how long do I wait? So that's the exit points for over 2.5 goals. Professional Development League, again, delivering, depending on the Times of these goals, they were first half, just one first half, 1 second. They're not all going to come in, but we've had days where the whole coupon comes in for over 2.5 goals. Birmingham Fleetwood, for example. So you can't expect over 2.5 goals in every single play. The only thing we have to try to do is get a value entry point and determine a predetermined loss amount. Again, there's nothing really to suggest a sudden lurch towards 1.5 goals or under 1.5 goals. Shamrock Rovers and Bows. Yeah, okay. Co-Bramblers and Treaty United. Pre-match odds 1.97. Not a rock solid favourite. Probably not a match I would have played given the league first division. Co-Bramblers up there or thereabouts. Top 1 or 2, I thought. No. Down in 8. So there we go. I don't even know the league position. So probably best not to play that. Over 2.5 goals yet again in the Eredivisie. No both teams to score in the second one. And again, is it all done by the first half? Well, you just got the one first half goal. Now that's the dilemma. Do I stay in? Because in hindsight, of course, it's very much over 2.5 goals. Do I stay in? Or do I have a second half play? Similar story, Young Utrecht. Did Camber's goals all come after the red? Just the one, there's the red. Perhaps after this red, if you had an opportunity, but no, that was linked. But given 30 minutes to the first goal, you could have backed over 2.5 goals, 20 minutes in, 15 minutes in, at enhanced odds, and you'd be up and running with just that penalty. Not long to wait in the second half, so again, it's a waiting game. Do I wait for the hour mark? That's just something we're going to have to figure out for the overs. So I'm going to come up with a set of ideas for you. Benfica and Boavista. Again, this is over 2.5 goals linked to the pre-match odds. 1.20 shot. 11 minutes you'd have got out of this. But again, comfortable overs. Question is overs factored in, given the fact it's a 1.2 favourite? So I would prefer to delay. Huesca and Cordoba, was the red card the catalyst here? No, it wasn't. Look at that. Comfortable 3-0 lead by the half-hour mark. Sundsvall and Oster. Gentle reminder, I think. Oh no, 1.65 favourites. You could have laid the draw second half. And the Aliens scored the second goal. So up to you there. On to today, and it's a coupon of potential today. Atalanta and Pericomo, newly promoted. I've done the research for members. So if you want in-depth angles, then it's all there at footballtradingprofits.com. But on the bare face of it, that's a match to shortlist for me. I'm not expecting Como to get the better of a hardened Atalanta. Serial top 10 Atalanta. Sevilla and Valladolid. Well, if Sevilla are odds on favourite, you know that you're pants. Valladolid are expected to get done again. They are the whipping boys this season, even though we're very early into the season. Valencia and Osasuna, I don't have a strong opinion here, so I'm not going to play. Real Madrid, watch out for Kylian Mbappe goals. Watch out for Kylian Mbappe's second half goals. Watch out for the potential for 0-0 at half time. Alaves are likely to be packing that defence. I've been talking into the mic for the last 10 minutes, so I'm not sure where I've got. But Leyton Orient and Peterborough, I always had the software paused. Peterborough, I would shortlist. Wigan and Stevenage, market's going for both teams to score. Well, they research in all of these three matches. That could be a potential angle. In what is a tough League One, I'm unlikely to be playing that tonight. EFL Trophy, get out your 5-0, 7-0, 9-0s, or 4-0, 6-0, 8-0s. It's going to be, a wheelbarrow full of goals for Chelsea. Man City against Watford again. Well worth following in the mood this lot are in. particularly expectation for goals here. So this could be a good exercise in over 2.5 goals. If we can get over 2.5 goals miraculously somehow to about 1.8. But Bayern Munich, similar odds to this at the weekend. No, Celtic. What did I do? I went into the first half goals, 2.5 goal market. First half goals, 1.5 goal market. Particularly, I got the first half goals, 1.5 at evens. So if we can somehow get to evens for the first half goals, 1.5 to back, then I would back that, and I would back first half goals over 2.5 goals. If we can get a goal or two out of this in the first half, particularly if we can get 2 goals, we've got a free bet on first half goals, 2.5. And that came in the Celtic match, £83 profit. Man City and Watford, we're expecting a similar. So we're looking for a delay and then hoping to get on the goals vibe there at better odds than you get here. Walsall and Leicester, watching brief. It's a Premier League side. Aston Villa away from home are Aston Villa away from home. Very, very reliable. Very full of goals as well. EFL Trophy will be on a shortlist. It's been a good competition for us at footballtradingprofits.com to trade, probably down to vast majority of odds on favourites here. So I'll be watching this with interest. There's nothing that stands out. I don't know much about these under 21 sides. That's the negative element there. And the old over 2.5 goal merchants out today. Do your due diligence. Just check the head-to-heads. But we did that yesterday and we've got a couple of 1-0s. So be wary that 1-0 could enter the equation. 4-2 last head-to-head in March. So, wow. So look to delay if you can. Try to get on enhanced odds over 2.5 goals. Given the way these leagues have been performing, over 4.5 goals as a speculative play might be a good starting point as well. And from a trading perspective as well, if you're envisaging a goal or two before half time, that's really going to be a booster for a big play and over 4.5 goals. This is something I will be investigating with another live chat webinar. We need to be placing bets live in the match to determine staking, maximum loss, the way the market works in these particular overs markets, because I've not been using them. I've been trading since 2013, never really used them apart from insurance. So we've got a number of things to look at. You can only look at those really by operating something like Fairbot simulation mode, where you can place bets and trades into the real market and have a go. You never know. We might stumble upon a strategy like the Celtic one at the weekend, which was just wonderful. Falkirk took the lead, but Celtic somehow first half goals over 1.5 goals was evens with a 1.06 shot, a goal down. That to me was an early Christmas present. So watch out for these opportunities. I don't have a standard over strategy yet, but I will give you a load of ideas you can work off. There's many angles for over 2.5 goals. You can include a focus on specific teams, as I do, specific leagues. Focus on the odds. 1.2 suggests 4 goals, that kind of thing. Veikkausliiga, we've split into the relegation and championship group. I'm not interested. We've already had a couple of shock results against the market because the league proper is over. The French Ligue 2 will be on the watch list today. Certainly, we targeted a couple of sides last time. Martigues newly promoted, Red Star newly promoted, and they both lost. This one will be particularly interesting. 1.45 home favourite against a newly promoted side. If this Martigues can get an opening goal, that might be an angle in there. That would be the only standout. But this is a good league for in-play stats trading. So that would be my main angle there. Honourable mention for Tina Turner's favourite football team, of course, Cottbus City Limits. She wrote a song about that. So she'll be tuning in for the match against Osnabrück later on, old Tina. The Coppa Italia is the Coppa Italia. Are they up for it or not? Would they prefer a league run, get out of this cup? I'll pay it some mind, but as you can see, I'm not shortlisting these matches. The Dutch Cup will get very short shrift. It's all at very, very lower tier stuff. Liquidity is going to be a major issue on Betfair for this particular competition. The Oberliga will get a gentle nod. It'll be shortlisted because we've got an odds-on favourite at home. but it's been an awful league this season. Kongsvinger, one of the top sides, again taking a battering at home at the weekend. I think 4 goals conceded at home, and they're in the top 3, for goodness sake. I think the top 3. They were early season title contenders. No. Wow. Kongsvinger. They used to be up there. Untrustworthy. Polish Cup. The only good thing to say about this, you'll find some good scores in Scrabble with some of these teams. I don't see any strength here. Lechia Gdansk, I believe, are from the top flight. Cracovia Krakow odds on away from home. I'll give the odds on a gentle nod in the shortlist, but it's highly unlikely that we're going to have enough liquidity. I don't think this is going to capture anyone's imagination. Quite clearly, it is Cup Day today, isn't it, around Europe? So there you have my shortlist today. And it's quite a robust one. 42 matches in total. Hopefully get a trade or two out of that. Como, newly relegated. Sevilla, because Valladolid keep losing or drawing Real Madrid. Imperious form. We're looking for a second half angle. Kylian Mbappe goals. Las Glints, just in case it's liquid enough. They are a top flight side. Again, a Czech Mole Cup. I think I'll take that off the watch list. That won't be traded. I won't. Just won't be touching that one. Just in case Peterborough are in a going mood, but I do bear some mind. 2.6 the favourite suggests it's too tough to call. EFL Cup looks very good. Lots of odds on favourites, lots of Premier League sides. It's up to us to see whether the opponents can score first, give the hint at a potential surprise, and then these big boys come out and steal it. Professional Development League, again, you're not going to get a wholesale over 2.5 goals, but it is the main trading angle in this league. So you might want to enter this backing over 2.5 goals as a bet and go strategy or trading on an ad hoc basis. French Ligue 2, taking on the newly promoted sides again, potentially. Eredivisie, goals. Oh no, that's finished. Polish Cup, just in case. But again, I'm highly unlikely to be trading this competition later on. So I think I'll pay it some mind on the in-play stats. But let's narrow that shortlist down to 32. I will be on Telegram for members of footballtradingprofits.com throughout the day. We've been on a really good run of late. Had some really good profits over the weekend. So been on and we're learning. We're trying to solve correct score Dutching at the moment. Variable profit Dutching in the correct score market as an alternative to taking on a 0-1 underdog lead. We're also looking at, as you know, overs and unders. I've got getting a short list of ideas for overs. One of them is over 1.5 goals if you can back it at 1.8. Second idea, delaying entry 10 or 15 minutes if you have that luxury. Overs has doubled. Over 2.5 goals has doubled in that time period. It did in the Leipzig match. And that went, I think, from 1.4 to 1.8 or something. So extremely good value. Plenty to think about. I'm going to also start trying to come up with my daily list of over 2.5 goals with reasoning. But please bear in mind, I am a reactive trader. I have always avoided trying to read a match. Pre-match, we react to what's going on in play. That's the most efficient way of trading. And it's the best way for you to create value, entry and exit points. As you can see with that backing Bournemouth at 100, for example, you don't get that pre-match. Have a great day. I'll see you throughout the day. For what it looks on paper, an interesting day, full of cup matches though. It's all a matter of liquidity with the cup and whether these teams are up for it. See you a bit later.